Good afternoon, everyone. We're back again with our latest Travel Bulletin monthly webinar, focused this time on the LGBTQ plus sector. This is a lucrative and rapidly growing market for a number of reasons. Over four times as many Gen Zs identify as LGBTQ plus compared to older generations. So inevitably, long-term growth is predicted within this industry segment. LGBTQ plus travelers are known for spending more money per vacation, and the LGBTQ plus family market is also a fast-growing area. Today we have three amazing partners who are really keen to share their latest news and products with us, and I'm pleased to say they're all true advocates of inclusivity and support of the LGBTQ plus community. So, ahead of their presentations, let's meet them. Our first presenter, representing Greater Miami and Miami Beach, is the account director for the UK and Ireland, Seb Sarrazin. Seb, how are you?
Thanks, Simon. I'm very well, thank you. Thank you very much for having me today.
Oh, it's a pleasure as always. Also from Florida Keys, Lloyd Spencer is joining us. Hi, Lloyd.
Hi
Good to
there,
have you
how
with
we
us. How
doing?
are you?
Yes, I'm very well, thanks. And it's great to be here to be able to discuss the destination and everything that it has to offer them.
Fantastic. Okay, and also by our third presenter for today is Claire Webber from United Airlines. Claire, good to see you. Are you well?
And you, Simon. Yes, I'm very well, thank you. Good afternoon, folks.
Fantastic. Okay, so following our usual format, our partners will deliver a live presentation. If you have any questions, and this is really irritating because I will not keep asking, I will nag you on the chat. Please think of a question or two for each of our presenters, because we're not trying to catch anyone out, although that's even more fun. But if we're not out to catch anyone out. We are there to find out things that they can tell you, and their knowledge is key, which on the things that will help your customers. So do ask questions. I will moan and moan if you put it in the chat, but if you need to put it in the chat, put it in the chat. Ideally, put it in the Q&A function, and then I can see them, and then I can ask the presenters after each of the presentations. Okay, so let's crack on with our first training session. If everyone else can please mute yourselves and turn off your cameras. We're going to start with Seb. So please, Claire, if you and Lloyd can do that. Okay, Seb, I will pass over to you and let you share.
Okay, thank you very much. Can everybody see my screen?
I can see it. It's all good.
Perfect. Thank you very much. But yeah, thanks again. I'm Seb, as Simon mentioned, account director for Greater Miami and Miami Beach, where the temperature this afternoon is expected to reach 27 degrees. I just thought I would put that out there. But again, thank you very much for the opportunity. What I'm going to try to do today, bearing in mind it's a very short 10-minute session, is to give you a bit of an overview about the whole of the city, Greater Miami and Miami Beach, because many people in the UK, and that does include some travel agents, do not realize the sheer size of the city. Greater Miami is roughly the size of Greater London. So it's a big old city, certainly the largest one that you will find in South Florida. And whilst Miami Beach is very much there, there is plenty of other options that might be more suitable for your clients, whether they are from the LGBTQ community or not. So let's have a look at some of those neighborhoods, which I hope is going to help you selling the destination a bit more effectively in the future. Of course, I will have to start with the beach. It is by far the most popular area of the city, certainly for international travelers, because it has it all. Great beach, obviously, South Beach is very well renowned for its architecture. It is nicknamed the Art Deco district, and for the nightlife. It's great for shopping. It's great for dining out. But one thing that South Beach isn't is A, quiet, and B, cheap. You want South Beach, you will pay the South Beach price, and it is predominantly an adult entertainment area with a great nightlife. As a rule of thumb, if you do happen to have customers who want the beach experience whilst in Miami, but A, they don't necessarily have the budget that stretches to a 4 or 5 star hotel in South Beach, or B, they might just want to relax a little bit and be a bit further from the nightclubs and the bars. As a rule of thumb, the further north you're going to position those customers along Miami Beach, which stretches for about 9.5 miles, the quieter it gets, the more local the feel, the better value for money, and the more family friendly. Typically, if you do have customers traveling with young children, you may want to have a look at the northern part of Miami Beach. And I'm thinking specifically about the beautiful neighborhood of Sunny Isle, where the beach is just as spectacular, but it's nowhere as busy. There's still plenty of things to do in terms of bar and restaurant, but you will find that the feel is much more local. But it would be wrong to assume that everybody coming to Miami wants the beach experience. We are renowned as being the cruise capital of the world, and God knows that many Brits or European coming to Miami happen to be in town because they are going to be sailing the Caribbean, where they will be seeing a beach after a beach after a beach for 7, 10, 14 nights. So as long as you can advise them about some alternative to the beach, they may be very open to actually stay on mainland Miami. And there are really three main hubs that you should get familiar with because they offer excellent accommodation option. Because they are no longer on the beach, the price points tend to be lower. And the feel is much more local, much more laid back. That's where the locals, or the majority of the locals, happen to live in Miami. The first neighborhood I would like to tell you about quickly is Coconut Grove. Think small fisherman's village around which the city has grown over the last 120 years or so, but it has retained that close-knit community feel. It has become a haven for artists, lots of painters, musicians, writers live and work in Coconut Grove, and it is a very popular neighborhood for locals who happen to have young children. There is a lot more space around. You are right on the water, no beach as such, but you can still go for a swim or a paddle, and it really is more suitable for visitors who don't want the nightlife. They really want to have a much more chilled, bohemian kind of laid back atmosphere to enjoy their holiday. The second neighborhood to bear in mind would be nicknamed the Beverly Hills of Miami, and it's a beautiful city of Coral Gables. Coral Gables is a very affluent neighborhood, very Mediterranean in its architecture. You can see some picture here on the slide of arguably one of the most famous hotel in Miami, if not North America, and that's the Biltmore, which is in fact the replica of a cathedral you will find in southern Spain, in Seville. And then a very popular spot for the locals who want to cool off during the summer would be the Venetian pool, as the name indicates, very Italian architecture. Coral Gables is very upmarket. However, you will find that a good 4 or 5 star property in Coral Gables will be better value for money than any 4 or 5 star property on the beach. So you can get the VIP treatment without necessarily breaking the bank. And in fact, you might even end up saving your customers some money by staying in Coral Gables. And then the latest neighborhood that's really come alive over the last 10, 15 years is the Brickell area, which is located downtown Miami. That's where you will find the latest bar, restaurant, hotel, rooftop terraces. A 15 years old building in Brickell is deemed ancient. It's really brand new, glitzy, glamorous. That is where the locals who want to go out to celebrate a special occasion would find themselves. And it has also become quite a big celebrity magnet over the last few years. So whether they are international singers, Hollywood actors, sporting personality, coming to Miami to have fun, they will be seen in the downtown Brickell area of Miami. And because it is attached to the financial district of the city, you will find that all of the international brand, whether it's Marriott, Hilton, Four Seasons, Moxie, Intercontinental, Mandarin Oriental, and so forth, will have at least one, if not two, properties in the area of Brickell. And an added bonus as well for those customers of yours in town for a very short period of time, pre or post cruise, you are literally 5 minutes away from Port Miami. You can literally see your ship arriving at port in the morning from your hotel room. So it's super central, close to the airport as well, about 15 minutes. And you can still make it to the beach if you wanted to have a look at it within about 15 to 20 minutes as well. I would like to touch upon another couple of neighborhoods. You won't find many hotels in the next two neighborhoods, although there are some in the making, but they are really very Miami. They are part of Miami's DNA, and many Europeans have never heard of those two beautiful neighborhoods, which are well worth a visit for half a day, something a bit different from the beach activities. And the first one has to be my personal favorite is Wynwood. If you've never heard of Wynwood, you might be familiar with Camden Town or Shoreditch in London. Well, imagine Camden Town on speed. That's the best way I can describe the area of Wynwood. It's very popular with a younger demographic. It's very vibrant, and it's really become really famous as being the largest canvas for street art in the world. And it's packed with quirky little shop. You will find some young fashion designer having workshop there. Record label companies have their studios, and Wynwood, it has to be said, also produces excellent beer. So that is probably going to be more appealing maybe for your younger demographic, and it's really the ideal backdrop for selfies or Instagram. And then last but not least, when it comes to neighborhood, I have to mention Little Havana. Miami is possibly the least American city you will find in the US. It is Latino, it's Mexican, Argentinian, Brazilian, but first and foremost, it is Cuban. And whilst you will find that Cuban flavor wherever you stay in the city, where it all started is in the neighborhood of Little Havana. It's bang in the middle of the city, close to all of the neighborhood I have just described. And if you ever have customers picking your brain and asking where to go out for an evening, Miami style, nothing fancy, not too many tourists, send them to Calle Ocho, which is the main thoroughfare in Little Havana, which is lined with little shops and cafes. It's very low-key, family operated. Some of the restaurant there will have live music, salsa instructor. It's a lot of fun, and I'm sure that your customer would very much enjoy spending a little bit of time in that neighborhood. Quick update about accommodation. We currently have over 600 hotels in Greater Miami, yet that is not enough to meet the demand. So with that in mind, we are now expecting over 50 hotels to open over the next few years. I'm not going to go through the entire list, but what you will notice looking at the slide is that all of the luxury brands that are not yet in Miami are all opening the one after the other, from Bulgari, Rosewood, Treehouse, Baccarat, Waldorf Astoria, and so forth. And as Simon pointed out in his introduction, the Pink Pound is something that we are all very interested in, and those people tend to spend a little bit more money than other demographic, so they will feel right at home because luxury is definitely on the cards in the city. Very quick update about the Bright Line. Hopefully by now everybody is aware of it, but just in case it is not the case, please do remember that there is a very easy way now to combine the parks up in Orlando and Miami thanks to the Bright Line direct train service. It's been operating now since September 2023. It is available for you to book on the GDS, so you can package it up with your flight, cruise, hotel, attraction, parks, and so forth. It takes 3 hours and 15 minutes, which is a lot quicker than driving, and the price point is very attractive indeed. You can see on the slide there the published rate, starting at 79 for standard class and 149 for first class ticket, which, by the way, includes a free private car transfer from the train terminal to the hotel. And I believe that the family ticket for a family of four starts at $199. So really, it's the obvious way to link both cities, and it should really help you combining our destinations for your customers interested in doing the park, but then also coming down to Miami for a little bit of beach time. In terms of things to do, that is a 2 hour presentation in itself. There's a lot that you can do in Miami. You can do practically everything apart from winter sport activities. I've touched upon cruise already. Miami is also becoming a very hot destination on the food scene with 16 Michelin star restaurants. And these vary from European, Asian, Latino kind of offering. So there is really plenty of excellent restaurant across Miami. FIFA fever has taken over. We are one of the host cities welcoming FIFA this summer. But Miami is very big on sport, whether it's soccer, American football. We're hosting the Formula One Grand Prix every year at the beginning of May. The partnership with them has been now extended until 2038, I believe. So if you do have customers who cannot leave without their bit of sport on the side, they will feel right at home. And then there's a very rich calendar of events, and specifically a really exciting program for the LGBTQ community called Rainbow Spring. It starts at the end of February and carries on all the way up until the middle of May. Some of those festivals take place on the beach, but practically all of the neighborhoods I mentioned earlier will have their very own Miami Pride as well. And I will be able to send you some more details during my follow-up as soon as I get all of your details from Simon and the team. Our website, Miami and miamibeach.com. We also have a microsite for the LGBTQ community, which is visit miamilgbtq.com. You will find a lot of information on that website. There is a travel professional section that you will find on the homepage, which doesn't require any registration, and you will find a lot of information there constantly updated for our travel trade partners. And if you still have any questions, I'm based here in the UK. My details are on the slide here. Feel free to reach out, and it will be my pleasure to assist. So I think I must have kept pretty much on time, Simon, hopefully.
Absolutely, Seb. As always, thank you very much for that. I've got a couple of questions, so by all means, leave your contact details there for a second, and then I'll ask a couple of questions for you. Right, okay. Rich Smith asks, in terms of hotels and motels and accommodation in general, what is the state of play with local taxes, things like that, the sort of tourist tax and that sort of thing? Should they be aware of, or should sort of agents be advising what the norm is, or does it vary by type of hotel, etc.?
It very much vary by type of hotel, the location of the hotel as well. Typically, if you are booking a hotel on Collins Avenue on the beach, which happen more often than not to be 4 and 5 star hotel, the tax is gonna be higher. If your customers want to avoid paying taxes, usually speaking, there are better deals to be had staying on mainland Miami, where some of the property do not charge any resort fees. But there is not really a rule as such. Every property can pretty much, package these fees the way they want. But the higher the rating, the higher the tourist tax and the resort fees, usually speaking. That's exactly the same for parking, by the way. I mean, if you're staying in a 5 star hotel in Miami and you want to have a car, that quite frankly, I do not recommend, you won't use it. But you are looking sometimes up to $50 per night plus tax. So if you're staying for a week, it's practically $500 that you will spend for a car that you're probably going to end up living in the car park, because Miami is perfectly walkable if you're staying on the beach, and we do have free public transportation in many of the neighborhoods as well.
I was going to say, Sheila asks about the public transport. Sheila Stamp asks, is it easily accessible and what have you? Actually, it's Alan. Sorry, it's Alan Garner who asks, is it easily accessible in terms of public transport? And from that point of view, is it sort of, does it run up until a certain time of night, and is it safe at night?
So, I mean, safe at night, yes, it is. The public transportation varies from one neighborhood to the next. Typically in South Beach, there is a free trolley service. It's not around the clock, but it's running until quite late.
Okay.
In the downtown area of Miami, whether it's Coral Gables, Coconut Grove, Brickell, again, you do have a free trolley service. If you wanted to go up and down Miami Beach, there is a bus service. There is a cost to it. It's minimal. And again, it's running until quite late. It's not around the clock. That being said, Uber and Bolt are very widely available in Miami, and it is actually cheaper than it is here in the UK. So if it is late at night, you may as well treat yourself and grab an Uber or Bolt. But generally speaking, our public transportation is really good, and more often than not, it is actually free of charge.
Okay, so no need for the car hire at all, from what we can see.
Now, if you wanted to actually combine us with the keys and you wanted to drive down, by all means, hire a car, but hire it on the day you're going to be leaving the
Right.
city. You do not need a car whilst you are staying in Miami.
Okay, fantastic. One last one, a very quick one. Sheila asks, with regards to the train back up to Orlando and what have you, I'm presuming it will be just a quick check on wheelchair accessibility. Is that possible?
Yes, I mean, there are some carriages that do have actually ramps, and absolutely it is accessible. Yes.
Fantastic. Okay, thank you, Seb. Amazing. We
My
have
pleasure.
everything. If you'd like to unshare, please, and then we will crack on and we'll see you at the end.
Absolutely. Thank you very much again.
Thank you very much. Right. Okay, Lloyd, let me welcome you once we have.
Hello, how we doing?
Oh, we're all good. We're all good. Let's see your sharing and then I will leave you in peace.
There we go. Is everyone happy with that?
Absolutely delightful. I will. This is yeah. Anyway, it's only Claire will now be chuckling because it's only her that can get things wrong. So let's rock on. I'll leave you with it, Lloyd. Thank you.
Okay, lovely. So, hi, I'm Lloyd, based in the UK. More than happy to answer any questions you have, specifically about this or the region itself. Give you a bit of an overview about Florida Keys and Key West. So, it's an internationally known LGBTQ plus friendly destination. There's over 250,000 visitors of that sector coming through every single year, with the main hub being in Key West. But the whole chain of islands itself is a very open and welcoming area. The name is Come As You Are, and One Human Family is the motto. It's actually ingrained into their communities rather than being a sort of a marketing ploy, as maybe some other places have done. So it's somewhere where visitors can come, be themselves, be open, wear what they want, and enjoy the activities. There's also lots of places that are either owned by members of the LGBTQ plus community, or are open and allies as well. You can find a really great list of those in the Business Guild, Key West Business Guild website, as well as many accommodations as well, that will either be male adult only, or a mix and open and welcome. So the Keys itself, it's over 120 miles long. You're looking at it's all on a fossilized coral base, with over 1,000 islands, but only 30 of them are inhabited. And you would be driving down there. So you would be picking up your hire car, say, for example, in Miami on the last day after you've been using all the public transport. And then coming down, Key West is going to be where the largest LGBTQ plus community is. However, I would certainly recommend that they break it up and have some quieter times, as they may not necessarily want to just be traveling for that reason. They may just want to travel and experience it like everyone else. So breaking it down, there's 5 main areas to the Keys. We've got Key Largo, which also includes a small part of the Everglades, which is up on the left-hand side as you're coming down from Miami. It's the first island you'll be going to. It's quite a quiet and relaxed area. It's where most of the locals who are living and working in Key West or up in Miami will be based. So it's got quite a local feel to it, as well as some incredible diving spots as well. You can also get out there to go out to see the Everglades, where you've got the crocodiles, alligators, and lots of other animals that you wouldn't usually see in many other places. So So Key Largo as well. It's also got a underwater UNESCO World Heritage Site and a national park, the John Penncamp Coral Reef. It's absolutely stunning. You've got wreck sites the whole way down as well. There's also a great part where you can get involved in the rehabilitation of the coral. They've actually designed a coral in Key Largo at the university, which is hardier to the higher sea temperatures. So a nice way to give back as well. So Island Marada, moving down. So this is the second island. It's the next stop. It's only a 40 minutes drive from Key Largo. From there, you'll see there's made up of several other smaller islands. This is a great place if you want to go out on the boat for day trip fishing. But it's also got some of the most incredible artwork. So it's also called the Purple Island. And funny enough, I was just watching a video of someone promoting the unique independent craft shops and markets that they host there, as well as some incredible art districts as well. Apologies, my maths is okay. So backcountry fishing, if for something for people that aren't necessarily really into the big heavy sports fishing, going out for 5 in the morning, coming back at the end late into the day, you can go out on the smaller boats into the Florida Bay, which is the slightly more protected side, and then you can go out there, have try it fishing, as well as having a really nice barbecue and a day out on the boat. Now we get to Marathon, which is the central part of the chain of islands. Um, it's definitely worthwhile stopping at Robbie's Marina, so a chance to be able to taste some local food in the marina where the fish is coming straight in. Uh, it's also an opportunity to feed the tarpon, so you can see the fish that are there. You'll actually find they'll jump about 3 or 4 foot out of the water to eat the food out of your hands. So quite an interesting experience. Within Marathon as well, we've got some really great stops. So whether or not you want to be using it as a sort of a lunch stop for your drive down to Key West, or an area where you may want to say book into one of the resorts and enjoy a bit more of a relaxing, quiet time, as well as all the rest of it. There's also lots of great diving there as well. One of the best spots that you could be going to is Sombrero Beach. It's beautiful, quiet little beaches. Unlike Miami, we haven't got the long white sand beaches. They're more of the sort of smaller, quieter areas. But it's a great place to go and have a peaceful time and relax, especially if you've been into Key West. You've had a couple of days partying and getting involved. It's nice to go and have a bit of recovery time. Also, something that's really great is the Turtle Hospital. So it's a fabulous place where lots of the turtles from all over the Floridian waters get brought should they get lost or unfortunately injured. They're rehabilitated. You get to see the whole process. It's also where they focus the efforts for the turtle hatching through that season as well. They're all coordinated through the Turtle Hospital. And if you are lucky, you may get to see one being released as well. So Pigeon Key, up until the 1800s, you used to have to sail from the Keys to get to the rest of the US. So their trading partners were much more familiar with the sort of Caribbean and Cuban areas. So this bridge will go into a bit more detail about how the first railroad was built. And this gives you a bit of an idea of the lives of the people that made that happen. It's a 7 mile long bridge by road, and then you've got a couple of miles bridge out there. It's perfect to park up and get a hire bicycle or just walk through on a nice day. Now, Big Pine Key, this is my favorite area. Incredible. You've got these, as you'll be able to see on the next slide, got these beautiful sort of sandbars. You've got little forest areas. It really is a bit of nature. So it's quite a difference and a break from the other areas around it. If it was me, I'd recommend booking and staying in Key West and then taking a day trip either by bus or by hire car in there, park up, and then you can enjoy walking around and making a private beach out on one of these sandbars as well. So it's absolutely stunning. Okay. So the other area, other thing to remember there is the key deer. So we've got 800 of these deers. They are native species to the Keys, and they never get bigger than a Bambi. So they're adorable, and you'll see them swimming as well from sandbar to sandbar. So close to perfect, far from normal. It's the motto for Key West. So this is going to be the busiest, most active area. Also has a very, very thriving LGBTQ plus community. And it's also got a Key West Visitor Centre, which is in the Pink Triangle, which is an area just off of the main Davao Street, right into the centre. So we've got Pride Month, which is in June. So this year it's going to be at the beginning of June. It's one of it's in terms of it's all over the whole of the chain of islands, but Key West is where they're going to have parties going for the whole week, whether that be pool parties, drag shows, or street parties going through the whole time, and you'll find everyone getting involved. So one human family, as I mentioned earlier. So there are some dedicated accommodations catering to the LGBTQ plus community. You'll find those on the website of gaykeywestfl.com, as well as the Business Guild that will also list them as well. Now, some of the main spots to be able to see when you're in Key West, you've got the Ernest Hemingway Home Museum. It's home to the cats with six toes. Go into a bit more detail in the follow-up if you want. We've got Customs House, the Key West Shipwreck Museum and Mel Fisher Museum, and the Truman Little White House, which is a bit of history, but also very sort of beautiful style of property to be found down in the Keys. So I actually think that the Key West has got one of the best sunsets in the world. I'll scroll on to that one. You've got street parties happening here every single evening, a celebration of the sunset. And this will be incorporated into any of the events that they have throughout the year, of which Key West has absolutely hundreds of them. One of the other ones to make of note is Woman Fest, which is a lesbian friends and allies event, which is held in September, and that's a 5-day party going through at the beginning of September as well. And the nightlife itself, so whether or not you want quiet cocktails, watching the sunset, or full street parties, you've got certain areas where you can go where bars will be open as late night. As you wish, and you could be partying with people from the Keys as well as from around the world. And then just finally, as you can see, there's always a festival. The calendar is never ending. I'll be linking through to a few of them, and also on our updates, we post the new ones that are coming up each and every month. So just to finally end, I wanted to say thanks very much for listening. It's a chain of really inclusive islands, with Key West sort of being its main anchor for the community, where it's got the sort of strongest community events, accommodations, and identity. But the rest of the Keys itself is broader. It's very accepting, open, and it's where your customers can feel welcome and at home. Thanks.
Right. Fantastic. I'm back. Good. Thank you very much, Lloyd. That's fantastic. Leave your details there so that they can, or the agents can take down notes and what have you of how to get in touch with you. First of all, my apologies go to Seb before we move on, because I forgot to ask Seb about his prize draw and everything else. So before we come on to your questions, Lloyd, could I just let Seb please detail his prize and his question? Bear in mind, everyone, it's not being given away now, so please, please, please don't put it on the chat or anything else. But you have to go to our website, which is travelbulletin.co.uk/webinar competition, and then you will be able to find all of the questions and you'll put in the answers there. Seb, apologies.
It's all right, Simon, not to worry. So the prize is a Miami beach bag with lots of nice little things inside. And the question is, what neighborhood of Greater Miami is known as the Art Deco District? What
Fantastic.
neighborhood
You will
of Greater
find that.
Miami is known as the Art Deco District?
The Art Deco District. What neighborhood of Miami is known as the Art Deco District? Thank you ever so much for that. And the prize is a lovely Miami beach bag. And thank you for that, Seb. And we'll see you again at the end. Apologies for that. Right, back to you. Lloyd, here we go. I have a few questions for you. Number one, I've got two questions on the spin from Daryl Glean, so
Yep.
hopefully you can answer both of them. Um, Number one is, can you get to the Keys without driving from Miami?
Yes, you can. So there is options so you can get a Flixbus, and Flix. Most people think of Greyhound as sort of a slightly lesser bus, but with the newer Greyhounds or the Flixbus, you can book little sections, so you can have a guaranteed seat. If you don't want to sit next to anyone, you can book the seat next to you, and if you're a family or a group of people, you can book a whole section of the coach as well.
Okay, fantastic. And his second question, Daryl's second question was, if you were to be going to the Keys and as part of an itinerary, should we say overall, um, how long would you recommend? What's the sort of minimum length of time you would say you need for the Keys?
Really, I mean, anywhere from sort of 7 to 14 days, depending on how much relaxing you want to do. We appreciate that lots of people maybe are adding it on to further places. So I would stay away from sort of pushing I certainly wouldn't do a big drive down to Key West and drive back over a couple of days. I'd want to be doing 2 or 3 nights as a minimum in Key West, and ideally stopping for sort of 2 nights in Key Largo, Isle Emirada, or Marathon, and breaking the journey up.
Okay, fantastic. Okay, and now I have a slightly longer question from Matt Gloss. He says, or he asks, given recent sort of press information with regard to Florida and the LGBTQ plus community, is Pride still going ahead this year? And he just asking, is there anything to be concerned by?
Certainly it is going ahead. We've had no information to that. And once you cross that bridge, you're onto island time. I'd say from that minute that you cross over, you will find that everyone is open and inclusive. So they will very much want to keep that alive and welcome, especially with any sort of issues and things that are happening in other places.
Fantastic. That's really great. Thank you ever so much for that update, Lloyd, in terms of everything that's going on with regards to the Keys. We really appreciate it. As I said, and we'll try not to forget, very kindly, you also have a prize. So please ask us your question. Remember, everyone, it's only via the Travel Bulletin website that you can answer. So please tell us what your prize is and then ask your question, Lloyd.
The prize, I've just lost a screen which had it up because I've just been sent the information. So I will let everyone.
I can tell you. Don't worry.
Yeah,
I can tell you.
if you
The
could tell me what.
prize is a Florida Keys beach towel and goodie bag.
Perfect. And it also had my question on it, which.
Okay, don't worry. I will. Luckily, I have it, so that's good. The question is: remember, go to the Travel Bulletin. .co.uk/webinar competition after this webinar, and you'll be able to enter. And the question is: how many distinct regions make up the Florida Keys? So, how many distinct regions make up the Florida Keys? So, great. Okay, we are rocking and rolling. We have one presenter to go. Thank you again, Lloyd, and we'll see you at the end if you wouldn't mind muting and
Of course.
turning off your camera for the time being. Okay, fantastic. It's our final presenter. It's now time to welcome back Claire from United Airlines. Claire, this is going to go swimmingly. We know it is. Okay. Oh, now my black cat has appeared to give us more luck. Right. Okay. We will. It couldn't happen, could it? Right. Okay.
Write it, could you?
Right, Leo, stay away. Right, okay, I will leave it to you. Are you well anyway?
Yes, I'm very well, thank you, Simon. Yes,
Good.
all good, all good.
It's good to hear. Well, I will leave you to share. I will wait till you're comfortable and then I'll leave you to it. Okay.
Further ado, folks, here we go. Let's get into it. So, next slide, my darling. Let's kick it off. So, I did see some questions in the chat about accessibility and things like that. And yes, United we call it people impact. So we have BRGs within our company that offer interactions with all kinds of groups of people. But also what I'd actually changed on this slide is we have an accessibility page on our website, which gives you things like, it's on united.com. It will give you a page where you can put in dimensions of a wheelchair, for example. And then if we're talking about accessibility to the destinations we've just been talking about in Florida, Obviously, we fly from London. We don't fly direct into Miami, but you offer a connection. You can go onto those pages and you can check the dimensions of your wheelchair, which will then tell you whether or not you can get that on the flight. We've also introduced Braille onto our aircraft, so passengers with limited sight can get their seat numbers. They can feel their seat Braille for their seat numbers. There's a spoken application within the United app. There you go. If anyone had app in the first minute of me doing the presentation, 10 points. So there's a spoken facility on there for, again, passengers who are sight impaired. And we also have a section whereby you can look up accessibility for things like service animals as well. So those questions were, I think, in the chat prior to this. Next slide, please, my lovely. So as far as United's concerned, we do offer 2 additional gender options when you're booking on united.com, although I believe you can put these into the GDS as well. So you can put in an X for an unspecified and a U for undisclosed, which is, as I say, specific to United. Okay, next slide. Okay, so as far as schedule's concerned, the new one for this year, I know a lot of you guys would have seen us do this before. The gateways are remaining the same, but we have introduced a Glasgow service for this summer. So Glasgow into Newark will operate from the 9th of May through to 24th of October, I believe it is, through the summer. And again, connections on Glasgow through Newark onward into the US network. Apart from that, everything's pretty much status quo on the schedule. Glasgow's the new one. I think there's a reduction on Edinburgh over the summer, but again, our coverage of the UK remains pretty much as it has been over the last 24 months or so. Next slide, please, Holly. Okay, so there's the Glasgow service. This will actually be on a MAX aircraft. So I'm going to show you some product slides in a moment, but what you'll find is that this one has Premium Plus and economy seating. So it's a smaller aircraft. We don't have the Polaris business class seat. And then moving on to the new product. So this is the exciting news that we've had this week. The new flight is going first up on San Francisco. And we had the announcement at the end of last week that the new product is now bookable from the 1st of May. So this new aircraft is flying Heathrow, San Francisco on the 1st of May. That 787 Dreamliner with the new elevated product on board, you will be able to book it. I've checked it. It's in the app. You can see those studio seats. I was very excited on Friday morning when I saw those. And I was checking the app at 7 a.m. for those of you that know me. Fact. So we're getting bigger screens. We have this lovely studio suite at the front with a companion seat. We're also getting an upgraded or an elevated product through in the Premium Plus cabin. Again, wider screens, Bluetooth connectivity with the in-flight entertainment system. For Polaris, there is wireless charging as well. And then if we just move on to the next one, you can see the change in the economy cabin. So this is going nose to tail, folks. Every part of the aircraft is getting the treatment. I could do with a bit of that myself, to be fair, a top to tail kind of turnout. Gonna have to go and get myself my nails done or something. So as I say, front to back, and bigger screens for the economy cabin as well. And then I believe we've got video next, so you can see the look and feel. Oh, that one wasn't me. oh gosh, makes me very excited when they say coming in May, never mind 26, coming in May. Have a look, Charlotte, every time. On to the next one. Right, we'll canter through these really quickly because I know we're probably a little bit short on time due to the whole disastrous uploading of decks. So this is the current Polaris business class cabin. It's all aisle access seating, free seat assignments in every cabin, folks. P class is your best booking class if you're looking for this within your own system. If we then move on to the Premium Plus, again, a free seat assignment in Premium Plus. Oh, sorry, Holly, next slide, please. There we go. The purple seats, we like the purple ones. So dependent on the aircraft type, it's between 21 and 24 seats in this cabin. I would say, and I know I say it all the time with you guys, and usually I'm wearing a big fat logo somewhere on me, it sells really quickly. If your customers are looking at Premium Plus and you've got it and you've got an R-class booking, get it booked. Don't wait. It's not going to get cheaper. It's not going to, there's not going to be an offer on it. If it's there, take it. Then I think we go on now to Economy Plus seating. There we go. Oh, actually, this is no, this is United Economy. So the standard United Economy seat. Again, we do still offer a free seat assignment in that cabin. It tends to be towards the rear of the cabin because you have the extra legroom seats and then preferred seating. But we still do offer a free seat assignment. And we do still have the Economy Plus option on the next slide, which is the extra legroom seat. So the extra legroom is booked once the ticket is issued. You can go onto the system. You can request this. They're generally in blue, the seats in dark blue, and you can request the extra legroom seat and pay for that online.
This is the story of the airport. And
here we go.
It can feel a little out of your hands, but what if, instead of being stuck in line, the United app could help you just skip it? Looking for your gate? What if a map could take you right there? And instead of wondering about your checked bag, what if you could just follow along? So yeah, turns out a better travel experience is in your hands with the world's most.
Okay, so there's been some updates for the app. As anyone who's seen me do this before, it's all about the app, guys. It will just make your life so much sweeter. Certainly make your customers' lives sweeter. So they can track their bags. Obviously, they can book their seats. They can get their boarding pass prior to arriving at the airport. They can do that great bag drop thing where they get the app on their phone, they just buzz their phone on the check-in, and then everything's printed. They drop their bags and they're good to go. It takes seconds, minutes rather than hours. Some of the newer updates we've got at the moment, so the virtual gate, so real-time gate information. You can also use the app to find a closer United club. So for those customers that have an access or have maybe purchased an access, they can look at the best club availability for their particular flight. The club nearest their gate may be busy, but it will show them information for other clubs around the airport. Obviously, there's real-time bag tracking, which is my favorite one. Stalking your undercrackers around the airport, always good. And then personalized updates. So it'll give you things like weather updates at your destination. One of the great new features as well is if you transit, so if we take it back to the Keys and Miami, when you are transiting through the airport, the app will give you real time through things like immigration. So it will take you X amount of time to get through immigration. You then need to go from here to this gate, and it will give you that time as well. So it gives you that your customers get real-time information. So a little bit of that stress with connecting is taken out of the equation. And then on the next slide, we've got, I believe we've got the Apple AirTags, which you can now link into the app as well. There we go. So you can get your Apple AirTag, and then should your luggage decide to take a little side trip, which I know occasionally does happen, you'll be able to see exactly where your bag is at the airport. And then all of this made so much easier if we go on to the next slide with the installation of Starlink. So this is rattling through our domestic fleet at the moment. This will, I mean, I always joke with people, I'll be watching Bridgerton when this comes on. I'll be on the flight straight into your Netflix account and streaming where you left off, be that Bridgerton or Blue Lights, which is what I was into this week. Very much enjoying a little bit of the BBC. But you will need to have a Mileage Plus membership to access the Starlink. Again, I always say to everyone, I'll give my date of birth to Pizza Express for a bottle of Prosecco. So hopefully nobody has too much of an issue with joining Mileage Plus for some Wi-Fi streaming. Next slide, please, Holly. So we do have an OTT course, which is live at the moment. If you can get this if you access your OTT training, you can, if you complete the course before the 30th of April, you have the opportunity to win a pair of tickets on United. And then I believe the next slide is my contact details. There we go. So Simon, do you want to know about our prize?
I'd love to know about your prize, please, Claire.
I believe we are doing a John Lewis voucher. I'm pretty sure that's what went on the email.
It is a £50 John Lewis voucher. Do you want to ask the question first? Remember, everyone, don't put it in the chat or anything else. I've got some questions for you, Claire. So I'll do them after you've told them your question for the prize.
Okay, so our question is just regarding the prefixes for those non-binary bits. So what does United offer as a prefix for those that choose it?
Fantastic. What I'm going to do then is I've got a few questions for you. It's good because everyone has actually joined in today and really given some good questions. So I've got some really, here we go.
I've got the really complicated ones to go with getting my presentation up.
No, these are questions not about United at all. They're about your use of technology. These are no, joking. That was these are, here we go. We've got some good ones here. Right.
Okay.
Real-time tracking. Could it extend, for instance, to a wheelchair?
If it's checked as a piece of luggage, yes, it will apply, because if you've, I confess I don't have first-hand experience of this, but I am assuming if you've checked a wheelchair, or if you've checked it at the gate, it will have a tag on it. As long as you have, even if it doesn't go into the app straight away, as long as you have that tag number, you can add a piece of luggage ad hoc to the app. So yes, you should be able to add that piece of luggage as an ad hoc piece if it's been checked at the door of the aircraft or something like that.
That was just so that you know, because I forgot to mention who it was that asked, and that was hold on a second, that was my goodness, my brain is not working today. Let me close that one. That was Jonathan Fletcher. So thank you, Jonathan, for that. That really is good to know. It's a good question, isn't it, Claire?
Yeah, definitely. All of these things. If you want any more info, Jonathan, that's our sales support number. If you drop them an email and just say, please, can you forward to Claire following Travel Bulletin, they'll send it on and we'll come back to you direct. I'll come back to you direct.
Okay. We got lots of people saying how much they love what you do in the free seat selection in economy and what have you, which is a really good win. Thank you for being positive. We love positivity rather than, just what we don't do. So Daryl Glean asks, can you purchase upgrades on the app?
Hi, Daryl. We don't offer, so United do offer an upgrade, but it tends to be on departure, tends to be at the airport. I actually, horror of horrors, I don't have the capability to upgrade anyone from my, I couldn't, Daryl, if you were traveling, I couldn't offer you an upgrade. I'm really sorry. I can book you a nice seat, but I can't offer you an upgrade. But within the app, you can book the economy plus seating. So you can take that option if that's where you wanted, if you want to just upgrade your legroom. But I believe within the check-in process, if there was opportunity to upgrade into a higher cabin, it would offer it to you when you check in. And I have seen it. So if anyone has been to our check-in desks at Heathrow Airport, when you check in at those remote terminals, it does sometimes say to you, you have the option to upgrade to business class for X amount of dollars. So it doesn't do it within the app per se, but occasionally if it's available to you at check-in, it will offer it there.
Okay, a couple more, slightly more sort of pokey questions. Alan Garner asks, does the Dimensions tool also include United Express?
I would imagine that would be the issue, because the United Express flights tend to be on Embraers. But I think, and again, I haven't tested the theory. If you want to drop me an email, again, I can forward you. We have a slide on it, so I can send you the full information on where to go, where to look. But those United Express are sort of subsidiary airlines. So again, that's something I wouldn't want to give you a definite yay or nay on. But the idea being that when you put your itinerary in and you put your wheelchair dimensions in, it will then give you the answer to that question. But appreciate that's no good if you've already booked the flight.
Okay, last one for you, Claire. Megan O'Leary asks, do you have a way of alerting United in advance of travel do we have a way of alerting United in advance of travel that our client is transgender and their pronouns do not match their travel documentation? Same for non-binary.
Only, I would imagine, within that prefix. I don't know that there is anywhere. I'm not aware that we have anything within sort of a special assistance process that would be flagged, because I can appreciate it can be triggering, can't it, if somebody's misgendered. But I'm not aware that we have anything that would allow for that. But again, if you can drop that question through to that email, I will have a look and find out where we.
Yes, send it through to the sales support center at united.com, and then they can.
And again, address it to me and put travel bulletin in the and say, contacting Claire post travel bulletin. I'll let those guys know to expect it and send it through.
I know this sounds, I am just sort of reconfirming what Claire has just said. Do it though, please, because it's actually useful for Claire as well, because, the more that she gets sort of information that is fed back to her from the team, it means that A, she's got more information at her fingertips, and B, the sales support center is, that they're aware of what people are asking, which may then lead to further enhancements.
Yeah.
Okay, fantastic. Well, everyone has been amazing. I really thank everyone for taking part. I thank everyone for joining us today. I would like to welcome Seb and Lloyd back as well, if I may do, as well as Claire, if you can all join us. As always, if you do want to watch the webcast again, especially those bits where it didn't go quite to plan, then hopefully we will have edited that out. But do bear in mind the recorded version will be on our website, on our Facebook page, and on YouTube by tomorrow morning at the latest. So again, thank you to all of our suppliers. We really appreciate everyone coming on, and we really appreciate all the agents for joining us today. So please, if you can, to give all the viewers a big wave, but don't wave from side to side, just be static, because otherwise we lose it. Thank you ever so much for everyone and joining, and we'll see you again soon, and safe journey to all. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.